welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks with Ngani Titan. We're on Sandriver and I'm in the 50 TP, the Polish Tier 9 heavy tank. And I'm also a little bit outraged. Just before I started looking at my video archive, my video captures for the Xbox, I checked my email. And sitting in my email was a message from Epic Games. It would be the sort of message that I would have expected to get if I was a player of Fortnite, and if I was a player, particularly if I was a player of Fortnite on the iOS environment. Because it was explaining to me, of course, if people are unaware, about the bun fight between Epic and Apple, and also Epic and Google. Although Epic aren't bad-mouthing Google, and Google are saying nothing, to the best of my knowledge. But Epic are definitely bad-mouthing Apple and is running kind of a multimedia campaign, which kind of annoys me anyway, because I don't think you should be operating the law as a mob action. If you fight the law as on its merits, or your law case. Running it as a mob action, mob-based law is always bad and never ends well for anyone. But to the best of my knowledge, I've never had any interaction with Epic Games Store. And I'm not saying that they didn't get my email legitimately in some fashion or other. I've had this email a long time. And I've interacted with lots of companies, and Epic may own one of them. So it may own may have had a record of my email legitimately for whatever reason. But I have never played Fortnite, and they should know that I've never played Fortnite, or at least I've never played Fortnite under that email address. I've also not owned an iPhone or an iOS device in over 10 years, I'd say. So the only reason I can think of that they were actually sending me this email is they were sending it to everybody, every possible address they've ever got their hands on by fair means or foul. I mean, the email itself was relatively innocuous. It was about Fortnite and Apple, but the thing is, sending it to people like me is intended, really, I suppose, to get me involved in their bun fight, which I don't want to be, and I was rather annoyed over getting it. However, that's enough of that. As I said, I don't approve of mob justice at the best of times, and certainly not in this particular occasion. But let's get back to the tank, because now the action is really starting. We took a couple of hits from the centre over crossing the ridgeline there. But I really like this tank. It's a lovely tank, and so much so, and in fact, the Polish tank line, I suppose to paraphrase Charles Dickens, is the best of lines and the worst of lines. They definitely have the best, maybe not the best, but certainly pretty good, and also, without exception, I would say, some of the worst tanks in the game, all on the same tank line. The fortunate thing is that the worst tanks are down in the lower tiers, so you start off with I think the tier 1's a fun little tank, the tier 2 isn't too bad, tier 3 is bad, the tier 4 is terrible, and I think the tier 5 is unbelievably bad. And then it starts to improve. But by the tier 7, I think you're actually getting into kind of decent tanks. And the tier 8 and the tier 9 so far are each one's an improvement on the tank before it. So I'd be actually kind of interested to see what the tier 10 is like. It'd be one of the few cases at the moment where I have tier 10 that I would be interested in getting. Although I'll probably wait for a sale or something. Well, I haven't unlocked it yet, but if I had unlocked it, I'd probably wait for a sale before I'd actually buy it, rather than paying the full, whatever, 6.5 million, plus another 1.5 million to equip it. I don't even have the money at the moment to do it. However, we're in a close quarter fight with an ST1. And to be honest with you, the ST1 should have won. I should be dead by now. Now the tank is tough, and I bounced a couple of shots from him. But he came in here in full health. So yes, I like this tank. I like it a lot. It's got a good punchy gun. It's got reasonable good handling, particularly for a Soviet type tank, and it's got pretty good armour. Now, this is not wise. Shouldn't be doing it. I should probably have pulled back at this stage. I'm not going to get a good shooting position. Shaska, potentially, guy in the village, 53 TP. Paladin can shoot me back and I'm a one-shot kill, but the real problem is the guy over there at G1. G1's making the position completely untenable because any time I pop over the ridgeline, I'll be showing my flanks to him. And I'm a one-shot kill. I mean, HE round would do the trick at this point. You can just load up a HE round, although I think that's an Emil, so I probably won't. Now, this is better, except that I don't have a good line of sight. The Paladin is behind that big rock, and unless he sticks his nose out and the Paladin's dead, 53 TP is probably about to die, and the enemy are closing in on our base. And while we're starting to pull ahead of them a little bit, we're not so far ahead as to treat this lightly. If we actually give them the opportunity to defeat us in detail, we're basically doomed. So let's pull back and let's help defend our base, because I was too far forward there. Even if the guys were in our base and lit up, I might not have been close enough to get a line of sight on them, to get a view on them. So from here, I think I'm safe enough shooting at the Patton. I don't think the Patton can really see me. I should be at the limit of his view range. 50T, the Kampfwagen, Kampfpanzer 50T will see me alright, and did as soon as he popped up, so I'm going to have to back down. Wait for the reload, because reload takes a while on this tank, alright. We did another solid hit there, and we accompanied by somebody else doing damage at the same time, and that is the Patton out of the equation. The Kampfpanzer 50T is rushed forward, and I'm spotted by the 45 TP in the centre. Now the 45 TP is not engaging with me, so that's the ideal time to engage with him. I'm just checking, so the Emil is still in his original location, which is great because it means he's too far away to interfere with me. So I can go after the 45 TP because he has gone the other way. Now, which way is he looking? He's looking away. Good. So his gun is nowhere near to bear, and we managed to take him out. Only 2 enemies remaining. So at this point we pretty much have the game in the bag, I suppose, because they're isolated from each other, more or less. The Tortoise in particular is in trouble because he's got tanks behind him in the dunes, and he's too far forward. He can't turn around. He can't climb up on the dune to get into a mutual support position with the other tank. And again, he's got multiple tanks shooting at him, so he's not pointing his gun at me, and he's a one-shot kill from my gun. As long as I can get the hit in, just to make sure I get the gun settled. And that's it, we've job done. So I feel under no further pressure really to go chasing down after the last tank, because I'm not going to get there in time anyway. This is a relatively slow tank, but as I said, I really enjoy this tank. I think it's one of my favourite Tier 9 heavy tanks. Possibly not as much fun as maybe the E75, but it's a pretty fun tank. So we lost an over-ambitious tank destroyer there going after the Emil. We should have waited for support, and we have now multiple tanks closing in. But I'm essentially going to be lazy, and I gotta wait here for if the Emil takes a break, makes a break forward, shall we say? Not takes a break, but tries to make a break forward, I would be in a position to get a shot off, and if he stays where he is, he's going to die from the tanks closing in on his position anyway. especially if the two mediums time their approach, so that they cross them from different directions, into the path from different directions, so that the Emil can't shoot at both at the same time. And the WZ is going to go for the Uzi. He's going for it. He takes the hit, survives, and shoots back, and that's the end of it. So, victory. And yes, so with 5,000 damage, which is pretty good. I think it's the most damage I've ever done with this tank. 3 kills, high caliber, first class mastery, Spartan is it? And yep, a sniper. And #1 by experience. I think it's not bad getting a sniper on a Soviet style gun. A lot of the fighting was medium range. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you all again soon. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.